The definition of the word secularism and the present day Muslim League, how can it be called a secular party if it's only pursuing the interest of one particular community or one particular religion?
First things first, Anusha ji, let me make it very clear. What is the meaning of the word secular? Secular means that our state, the state of India as a country and a nation, does not have a religion of itself, but it protects the rights of religion of every citizen of this country. Also, now you asked me a very important question as to an Indian Union Muslim League, this party which has Muslim in its name, how is it secular? Let me share this example. In the year 1993, when Mr. Bashir Ahmad of the IUML was the education minister, India's largest Sanskrit university was inaugurated, well-stated, and brought into living by this gentleman. Secular is not just a word. If you want to be secular, secular is truly by your actions, by what you walk the talk, by your preach and your practice. Which other better example I will tell you? The new Muslim League which we see today in India, उसमें और पाकिस्तान की मुस्लिम लीग में जमीन और आसमान का फर्क है वही फर्क है जैसे I have my friends in the RSS, I have my friends in the Bajrang Dal who are such great intellectuals who do great philanthropic social work, but there are others who have FIRs on them, criminal cases on them. Many of them have gone out of the way and done criminal activities too. So therefore we cannot compare the good RSS with a few bad seeds. Same way, the one which caused the partition, I condemn them. Those with that kind of ideology, unequivocally, as a citizen of my beautiful nation, I condemn them. But the Indian Union Muslim League we speak of, when they do their philanthropic activities, even during COVID, they do not see Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. No. They go about and do it equally.
But Mr. Abbas, I believe the word secularism is debated on the right and the left. But I think there's one fundamental principle on which we can all agree, that if a particular interest group or a political party pursues the interest of the citizens at large, irrespective of Hindu, Muslim or any other community. I'm not talking about philanthropic activities. I'm talking about political goals and the promises that they make to people. And if those goals are about the polity at large, about the population at large, then that political party qualifies to be a secular party in the politics that it's doing. According to the Election Commission and manner in which the political parties are registered, you can register a political party and pursue the interest of Hindu, Muslim, Sikh and whatever. But this particular political party, is it really pursuing the interests of people at large, irrespective of their faith? Mr. Abbas.
Anusha ji, yes. Anusha ji, brilliant question. I will give you a straight answer. The fact of the matter, in the Indian Union Muslim League that you see, and they contest largely in the state of Kerala, they've given out tickets extensively to Hindus, Muslims, Christians, even Dalits too. So there is also a party called BJP which never gives a ticket to a Muslim. So there is Dohra Mapdand. Is name secular enough or name is not secular? What about the actions? I truly believe actions speak louder than words. The work of Indian Union Muslim League in the Indian polity system has been secular. Yes, I agree with you. The name Muslim or Hindu bringing into a political party does not make it sound secular. But look at the actions of IUML. They've given good distribution of tickets in their MLA elections, MP elections, the municipal level elections. BJP does not do the same.
Mr. Nigam, counter on that point. That's a fair point to make, that if they have representation from the political party of all the communities, then why can't they be called secular?
See, the fact remains that merely by inaugurating a Sanskrit university does not make you secular, because you are the education minister. By that right, you are invited to inaugurate a university. You have to be secular in your deeds. One, you have to keep nation first before religion. A simple question I ask my Muslim brothers, that do you keep religion secondary and nation first? Which is a very simple. Many people like Abbas may keep it. But I have seen on debates, many debates, including your channel, where various Maulana said, no, dharam pehle, rashtra baad mein. So that is the mentality I am talking about. And in closed doors, you take your mask off when you come in public, you put that mask of being a secular. So that is what I'm opposing at. I'm not blaming all Muslims. There are very good Muslims, and Indian Union Muslim League opposed the, if they're truly secular, why did they oppose President Abul Kalam Azad, our president, who was there?
All
So
right.
clearly, these are the double standards which are going on. And then we have to shift focus to Congress.
Sir, can I answer
Congress,
that?
if you recall, coined Hindu terror. They brought communal
I take
violence
that point,
bill.
but
where
I have
all
limited
Hindus
time
were-
on this debate. Mr. Abbas, respond to that point
Quick,
about double
quick
speak.
point.
Yes.
I think Desh Ratan Nigam Saab is a lawyer. I have great respect. We've debated, discussed many times. Coming straight point. So Bashir Ahmed Sir ji, आप थोड़ा Google कर लीजिए, research कर लीजिए. He is the one who incepted the idea of a Sanskrit university from brick mortar level to its execution to it being its brainchild. So this man, Bashir Ahmed, in the year 1993, when he was the education minister, took everything it takes to bring Sanskrit University into existence. It was not a mere photo opportunity or a ribbon cutting inauguration which Modi ji and his likes do. Now, next question. You said, many Maulanas on the debate say dharma aage hai ya rashtra baad mein. I think those Maulanas, one message through CNN, Anusha ji and Desh Ratan Nigam, our own prophet has spoken of Hubbul Watan, love for the country first. That answers it all. Like in Hindus, Muslims, Christians, there are some people who follow the words, some don't. But largely, you cannot tell that to all the Muslims. Also,
Abbas
it is
ji,
wrong
but
to
that
say,
love for the country,
10 seconds,
country
10
has to be
seconds.
Islamist.
Desh Ratan Nigam ji, 10
Please remember,
seconds, sir.
that is what
This
Islam
whole
is all
thing-
about.
Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam and
10
Syed
seconds to
Abbas.
complete my point.
So I'm very sorry, I'm short of time, but Mr. Syed Abbas and Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam, stay with us on the show because a linked story, a linked narrative has come in, and this is an important statement that has come in from RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. Now, in his latest statement, he has said that Islam is safe in India. There are various questions being raised about, Muslims feeling unsafe and a lot of statements that have been made by the opposition parties. And speaking on that controversy, he said that Islam as a religion is safe in India. But people here must forget about their foreign connections in the interest of the country. He further added that India had to witness partition because of this mindset that people who look different need different countries. The RSS chief further added that there has to be prudence and better understanding, and we have to be together in terms of the nation building. That's what his larger message was really like. Now, Mohan Bhagwat comments come days after Rahul Gandhi said in the United States that minorities, especially Muslims, feel unsafe in India. Listen into the reactions, then I'll go back to our guest.
नफरत के बाजार में मोहब्बत की दुकान, that is the best way I can say it, which is that it is felt most strongly by the Muslim community, okay, because it is done most directly to them. This happens periodically in India. What is happening, for example, to the Muslim community in India today happened to the Dalit community in the 80s.
दुनिया में इस्लाम का आक्रमण हुआ, स्पेन से मंगोलिया तक छा गया. अब विदेशी तो यहाँ से चले गए, लेकिन इस्लाम की पूजा कहाँ सुरक्षित चलती? यहीं सुरक्षित चलती है.
All right, Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam and Syed Abbas continue to stay with us on the broadcast. Mr. Nigam, first to you, the statement of Mr. Mohan Bhagwat. And what does he mean when he says that foreign connections need to be disowned? Every Muslim living in India is an Indian citizen.
Yes, certainly, Anusha. In fact, Bhagwat ji has also on an earlier occasion said, you have to leave that sense of supremacy and superiority, that your religion is the best and others are inferior to you. Because Indian constitution provides that equality, and whatever may be written in Hadith, Quran and Sunnah, you have to leave all that because our constitution is supreme. You cannot say my way or the highway.
But Mr.
My way
Nigam,
is the best.
people can believe in the constitution and their religion at the same time, like I do or you do. And many of the other Indians, millions of Indians do.
Yes, certainly. I'm not saying, but when it says, when a religious text says, and I'm willing to debate on that subject, but this is not a religious debate. Therefore, the fact is, if you call somebody a kafir, an inferior, and then try to say that you have the first right and your way is the only way. And I can quote, Shuras, and I can also tell you there is an ayat in Shura and an ayat in Quran which says the latter ayats will supersede the earlier ayats, where the earlier ayat says that your religion for you and my religion for me, but 9.5 clearly is a subsequent ayat which is very dangerous, which is known as Talwar ki ayat, and Surah 2 ayat 106 clearly says the latter ayat will prevail over the earlier ayat.
Okay,
So this is what is to be left. You have to leave your sense of you are an Indian citizen first. You have equal rights. In fact, rather more
Mr. Syed
rights.
Abbas, your response. Mr. Syed
Yes,
Abbas.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now, allow me to make my point, please. Thank you very much. The point I wanted to previously complete is this. Previously, Mr. Nigam said, giving a choice that dharam ya rashtra. So that question itself is fundamentally wrong. Can you ever choose between your mother and your father? You cannot. That is how you need to love. Hubbul watan, love for your country.
हम लोग तो चुनते हैं.
No,
don't interrupt me.
हम तो कहते हैं राष्ट्र first, nation
Sir,
first,
do not interrupt
religion
me.
afterwards.
Mr. Nigam, let him make his point. I'll give you the time to interject.
Now he spread some misinformation on the show. Respected sir, show me one place in Quran where it says Rabbul Alameen or Rabbul Muslimin. Allah in its Quran, in its Hadith, Sunnah says Rabbul Alameen, meaning Almighty God, belongs to every single being on this earth and not just Muslims, sir. So kindly do not spread such misinformation.
Isolation
No,
mein mat padiye.
One second. Yeah.
Allow me to complete, sir.
Yeah.
You raised allegations. I need to clear that as a practicing Muslim. Second point. Yes, sir, you spoke about my religion is to your religion. The ayat that you speak about is Lakum Dinukum Waliya Deen. Kindly know the ayat, sir, before misinterpreting it on national television. Allow me to complete, sir. Allow me to complete.
Yes.
Allow me to complete, sir. The fact of the matter is very simple, Anusha ji. People with the RSS backing and agenda, they raise a question that, constitution is wrong or it is not secular in stump. Sir, it is the constitution and you need to respect it. You can't cherry pick, you can't pick and choose. In Muslim case, you take up the constitution. In your case, you think constitution is not secular. And sir, please read Quran in its entirety from page 1, word 1 till the end. Do not go about misinforming, spreading false information like that. I'm a practicing Muslim.
I'll answer that.
All right. Mr. Abbas, you've made your point. Mr. Nigam, 30 seconds to you. Mr. Nigam, 30 seconds to you.
See, the fact is, let me bring it properly on record. Hold on.
Mr. Abbas, listen to his point. We have limited time on the show. Yes, Mr. Nigam, please go ahead.
The question is, the Maulanas and some people in India, so-called seculars, clearly say a kind of thing that Islam is secular, but the Islamic countries scholar, and I can name them, clearly say Islam, there is only, I can quote you Islamic scholars, international Islamic scholars, Indian Maulanas.
We can't have a debate like that. Mr. Abbas, give Mr. Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam 30 seconds, then I'll come back to you and you can make your point. Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam, please.
See, the fact is, when you put on a mask, that mask has to be taken off. And for that, you need to study international Islamic scholars from Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Iraq, which are actually come out with true interpretations, which Indian Maulanas follow. But on television channels, everybody starts portraying it as a very secular religion.
But Mr. Nigam, the argument which is being made from the other side is that every religion, especially monotheistic religions, not just Islam, say Christianity, other religions, the people of the book, monotheistic religions, do have certain aspects which are of this nature, which talk about that there is only one God, there is only one way to God, and Islam is not an outlier in that. What makes Islam more problematic according to you? Because as Mr. Abbas is arguing, you can have those traits of, those kind of ideology or those kind of thoughts in different religions across the world.
Certainly, for that, you got to look at Saudi Arabia's reforms which are taking place, where they have rejected 80% of hadith and they have put up a committee on Quran. So they are also going through various changes. They are not dogmatic. They are saying we are willing to change. And Indian Muslims also have to learn from Saudi Arabia. In fact, earlier the Saudi Arabia used to learn from...
Now, can I come in, Anusha?
Right. Mr. Nigam, I have limited time. Mr. Abbas, 30 seconds to you. Please go ahead. All right, it looks like we've lost that connection with Mr. Syed Asad Abbas. I wanted to give him the time to respond on this entire show. Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam and Syed Abbas with us on the broadcast. Let's listen into some reactions coming in.
सभी पत्रकार बंधुओं से भी मैं कहना चाहूँगा, ये बात सिर्फ मोहन जी ने तो नहीं कही है। 2019 में मार्क टेली बीबीसी के बहुत बड़े पत्रकार रहे, 3 दशक तक भारत में रहे। उन्होंने 2019 सितंबर में द इक्वेटर मैगजीन में लिखा है कि मुस्लिम्स इन इंडिया आर द लकीएस्ट। और उन्होंने इसके किस आधार पे लिखा? उन्होंने कहा मैं 3 दशक तक दिल्ली के निजामुद्दीन एरिया में रहा, वहां एक सड़क के एक तरफ हजरत निजामुद्दीन औलिया की दरगाह थी और ठीक उसके सामने तबलीगी जमात का ऑफिस। उन्होंने कहा दुनिया में कोई मुस्लिम देश होता तो 3 दशक तक ये दोनों एक साथ नहीं रह सकते थे।
ये संघ प्रमुख को अपनी शाखाओं में ज्ञान बांटना चाहिए, हमें नहीं बांटना चाहिए। पूरे देश को, पूरे समाज को धर्म और जाति में बांट रहे हैं और यहां आकर भाषण दे रहे हैं संघ प्रमुख। विदेशों तक में संघ से जुड़ी हुई संस्थाओं पर दंगों के आरोप लगते हैं तब नहीं इनको होश आती, कैसे बदनाम कर रहे हैं इस देश को। तो इनको कहिए कि अपनी शाखाओं में जाकर ये ज्ञान बांटें, यहां नहीं बांटें। यहां हम सब ज्ञानी हैं, इनसे ज्यादा ही ज्ञानी होंगे।
We'll continue debating all these stories and much more here on CNN News 18. For now, slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned.
It was meant to be a show of strength in support of Brijbhushan Singh, isn't it? Have the wrestlers reacted when this rally was announced, and are they reacting now that the administration has decided to withdraw permission?
Well, this is the important question here, because after the incident which took place at the Har Ki Pauri Haridwar, 5 days time, as mentioned earlier as well, was sought by the Naresh Tiket as to what is going to be the further course of action from the wrestler side. But since that particular day, the wrestlers have gone incommunicated. They are not speaking to the media persons as well. In fact, we have spoken to a source who are part of that particular group. They have informed us that till the completion of the 5 days, the wrestlers are not going to be out in the public place. They are not going to appear in any of the Mahapanchayat. They are not going to speak in the public domain as well, or to any of the media persons as well. So as mentioned earlier, that today as well there is a big Mahapanchayat which is going to happen in Kurukshetra, Haryana, where the further course of action. And yesterday this was something which was announced by the farmers as well. And farmers are one such group who have extended their huge support out in the public domain to that of the wrestlers as well. And they are going to carry out the further shape of the overall protest. Yesterday as well we have heard the bite of Rakesh Tiket, where he clearly informed the public that if need be they are going to yet again block the roads and borders of the national capital Delhi, which they have done at the time of 3 farm laws as well. And also they also have the option to plan a protest nationwide if their demands are not met. At the same time, they are also going to hold deputation to the President and Home Ministry as well. And clearly, Rakesh Tiket also informed that there has been a communication as well that if any of the delegation of Khap Panchayat, if they want to meet any of the prominent person from the government, then it will also be managed, it will also be exercised. So there is a open communication which is happening, but in a way also we should call it a back channel support, a back channel communication as well. And this is something which has been filed by Arun Dhanta as well, who tracks the ruling dispensation for CNN News 18, that one of the prominent leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who is Union Minister from the Western UP, he also spoke to the wrestlers at the time when they gathered at the Har Ki Pauri side, which clearly indicates that there is some form of the communication, you call it indirectly, which is happening between the wrestlers and some of the prominent people from the ruling dispensation side as well, to come out over a consensus as to how to take this forward in a respectable manner. Back to you.
Anshul, as far as the Ayodhya administration's decision is concerned, how should one look at it? Purely from the point of view that, Ayodhya is a sensitive place, there is a temple construction going on, you would not want a crowd there, and 11 lakh plus people, as the number was being thrown, could create an administration issue. Should we look at it from that point of view, or are you also seeing political signals being given as far as this denial of permission is concerned?
So definitely the significance is much higher, but yes, on record, the records that have come out is that the administration has said that 11 lakh people gathering at a place in Ayodhya can actually be a very big law and order issue, and hence the permission has not been granted. But the significance, as you rightly mentioned, is way higher than this, because this rally was the show of strength of Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, where for the first time he would have gone out on public along with Shias who would have come out and extended their support towards Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, because since day one we have heard that several allegations have been leveled against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. On the other hand, he since day one has been defending himself alone and has been saying that all these allegations are baseless and he's ready to hang himself if any of these allegations are proven true.
Brij Bhushan Singh now appears to be on the back foot, and that's the news that we are breaking at the top of the hour. Amidst heat on Brij Bhushan Singh, the Uttar Pradesh administration has denied permission to Bhushan to hold a rally in Ayodhya. This rally was scheduled for June 5th, but now we are told that the local administration there has refused to give permission for this rally. Brij Bhushan himself has put up a Facebook post in which he has confirmed that he is postponing this rally. For more, Nikhil is joining me live. Anshul is also tracking the story. Hopefully he'll be with us in a bit. But Nikhil, a big setback, you would say?
Well, this was the Jan Mahachetna rally which was supposed to organize on 5th of June in the city of Ayodhya, where Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh claimed that 11 lakh supporters are going together, including that of saints and seeds of Ayodhya as well. So this was the call which was given by Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, and there at that particular place he was all set to put forth his point, which he has been doing since so long after the wrestlers made some of the serious allegations against him. But now this is the breaking piece of information where we have been given to understand that that particular rally which was being organized, it has been postponed for few days. And Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, who is the member of parliament from the Kaisarganj seat of the Uttar Pradesh state from the Bharatiya Janata Party, he has announced it on the social media platform Facebook. He has informed that many of supporters were all set together, but because there is ongoing investigation which is currently happening from the side of the Delhi police, and the matter is also in the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court is the one who is directing all these things. The matter also reached out at the apex court. So in view of the same, for a few days the rally is being postponed. So if we go by the further details, on other side there is this FIR as well, which is now out in the public domain, where 7 of the complainants filed serious complaint against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh over the sexual allegation. And we have also what we do know is that 2 of the FIRs were also filed, one in the case of POCSO Act as well. But now this is one of the big setback, and the reason for the same is being cited that the local administration did not allow the permission for the gathering of 11 lakh people, which was being claimed by Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh himself. So obviously it is one of the big setback, but it also brings some of the context as well, that there is something which is cooking inside in camp of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. On one side the FIR has been released, on the other side there is this Mahachetna rally as well, which is now postponed. So we need to see as to how the further developments are going to take place. But clearly now we need to see as to what Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh is going to further say. On the other side, if we talk about the developments which are happening from the side of the wrestlers as well, there were 5 days time which was sought by Naresh Tikait as to what would be the further course of action as far as the wrestlers protest is concerned, after the Delhi police denied the permission for the same to carry out the ongoing protest at the site of Jantar Mantar. So yesterday as well there was this Mahapanchayat which was organized in Muzaffarnagar. Today there is this huge Mahapanchayat as well, where
Welcome back to the Nation at 5. There's no end to the face-off between the wrestlers and the WFI president Brij Bhushan. Members of the 1983 Cricket World Cup winning team have issued a statement now. They've urged the elite athletes not to take hasty decision. They even hope that their grievances will be heard very soon. CNN News 18 accessed the 2 FIRs which have been filed against the BJP MP with the Delhi police, which has made some very shocking revelations. There are about 7 complainants, including a minor. Demands of sexual favors, several cases of molestation instances which have been recorded in these 2 FIRs. Top sources within the BJP have told CNN News 18 that party's central leadership is not happy with Brij Bhushan Singh for his statements passed in the media. UP administration has denied permission to Bhushan to hold rally in Ayodhya on the 5th of June. Some latest news coming in. Let's cut across to that. Was there's an ultimatum coming in from the Khap Panchayats which have come out in the support of the protesting wrestlers. The Khaps have issued a new ultimatum, gave June 9 deadline to arrest Brij Bhushan Singh. Listen into what Rakesh Tikait said.
9 तारीख को हम अपना निर्णय लेंगे, बच्चों को हम लेकर जाएंगे वहीं जंतर मंतर पे, ये तय हुआ कि उनको वहां बैठाएंगे, पुलिस रोकेगी क्या करेगी वो उसका है, लेकिन उससे पहले सरकार इसका निर्णय ले, उसकी गिरफ्तारी करे और बातचीत जो कुछ होगा और होती रहेगी। रेसलर का ये है कि हमने आपको 5 दिन का टाइम दिया था और अभी हुआ नहीं कुछ, हम बहुत टेंशन में, कुछ भी हादसा हो सकता है। 5, 7, 10 आदमी जो भी खाप पंचायत के समाज के लोग होंगे, उसमें सामाजिक लोग भी होंगे, ये नहीं कि सब खाप पंचायत के लोग होंगे या किसी संगठन से होंगे।
Cutting across to my colleague Nikhil, who's with us on the broadcast. Nikhil, what's at stake? What is Rakesh Tikait saying? And he said that other than Khap Panchayats, there also be members from the other communities, people who are working in society, social activists would be a part of this movement of sorts.
Leaders are standing tall in support of the wrestlers, and now after this particular meeting, this particular Mahapanchayat, which took place earlier today in Kurukshetra in Haryana, they have come up with this particular decision that they are going to give the time to the central government till 9th of June. That means the remaining days are with the central government, with the Delhi police as well, and they are not going to settle with anything below the arrest of Bhushan Sharan Singh. If that is something which is not going to take place, then they are going to yet again approach the site of the Janata Mantar, which the Delhi police have already informed and already given us this reaction as well, that they are not going to allow in any case the resumption of the protest at the site of the Janata Mantar. If need be, they are going to allot any of the different places in the capital city, but that is the place which is not going to be allowed by the Delhi police personnel. So this is the ultimatum now which has been given out by the farm leaders. Yesterday as well, there was this Mahapanchayat. We have spoken about it. We have informed our viewers that many of the decisions were taken place at Muzaffarnagar Mahapanchayat as well, where they have informed that if need be, then they are going to yet again block the different borders of the national capital. So it seems like
as you point out, the direction in which these protests are going, they're only escalating. Thank you so much for getting us all those details. Joining us on the broadcast is our very special guest, Mr. Kirti Azad, who's a former cricketer and member of the 1983 World Cup team, is with us on the show. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us. We have seen a spate of protests by the wrestlers in the country. There were also some demands that the wrestlers have made. 2 FIRs have been registered by the Delhi police. The wrestlers continue to say that proper action has not been taken. The government so far has maintained that law is going to take its course, due process is going to be followed. How do you view this entire episode, and according to you, what should be the next steps, sir?
Well, if it was due course of law was taking place, then under POSCO, immediate arrest should have taken place. The POSCO Act came after the Nirbhaya dastardly act took place in Delhi, if you remember. Everybody was really very angry with the Delhi police at that time. And the POSCO Act says that if any minor or anybody has such allegations, immediate arrest should be done. So the very first point that the investigations are going on gets negated here. They've been sitting on a dharna for the last 6 months. They went to the government because they had the faith in that government, and a committee was formed as they wanted with Mary Kom, who was a pride of the nation, winning 6 world titles as a boxer, and nothing came out. 30 days time was given, nothing came out on those 30 days. And then they went to the police to file an FIR. The police rejected their FIRs, so they had to go to the Supreme Court to get orders to FIRs to be registered. 2 FIRs were registered. One was under POSCO, which says immediate arrest, which has not taken place. And hence, when you see that when they are on a peaceful demonstration, they are dragged by the police in a manner which is so shameful. These girls who are pride, Beti Bachao, they are the pride of the nation. When they won the medal, the Prime Minister called them and had photographs with them. Then the Haryana Chief Minister made Sakshi Malik as the brand ambassador of Haryana. And today, not even a tweet for these girls who are fighting, and they got so much distressed that they wanted to dump their medals in the Ganga. So we told them that we as world champions know how much of sweat and toil you have to put in. It's not only your medal, but it's the medal of the nation. You are the pride of the nation. So please don't do this act.
There's one thing I want to understand.
Justice should be done.
You're one of the stellar sports personalities we have in this country, and often this argument is being made, and I'm not going to quote anyone, that the protest should not be politicized. Well, I don't believe that anybody in this country should not be a part of polity and politics. We all should be thinking citizens. We all should be part of politics. politics in some way or the other. By politicization, I mean that certain political parties trying to take advantage of these protests or these movements. You have the likes of Rakesh Tikait who have come out in support of the wrestlers and said now Khaps are going to participate. Politicization of this protest. How do you see that allegation, sir?
Let me put it in a different perspective as
Sure.
you're trying to make it politicized. Well, I won the World Cup along with my captain Kapil Dev and other 14 members of the side. We won the World Cup for India. We didn't win it for Indira Gandhi, who was the Prime Minister at that time.
Yes.
Even Mr. Advani and Mr. Bajpayee, they congratulated us. I was not into politics. I was playing cricket.
Right.
Everybody, whether it was Sharad Pawar ji or anybody else, they all congratulated us. We won the medal for India, not for a particular political party.
Right.
These wrestlers, these women wrestlers have not won it for the BJP, but they have won it for the country. And every person, before he is a politician, journalist or XYZ, he is an Indian first.
Absolutely.
So we all can empathize with them. We can all support them because we want justice. And when you talk about women equality, you talk about women having the same kind of strength, then in that case, each and every person, whether he's a politician or not, whether he's political or apolitical, if whosoever stands in solidarity with this woman stands with the nation.
Sir, what should be the next plausible step? Because Brij Bhushan has not stepped down so far. That's one of the big things that the wrestlers have been pointing out.
Well, it's Brij Bhushan who has to decide, or whether his party has to decide what they have to do. After all, you took pride when they won the medal. When Sakshi Malik won the medal in 2016, 7th October, I think. She was the first woman wrestler to win it in Olympics. And here, look at her being dragged on the ground, being insulted that way. A woman, where we talk about giving equality to one, Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, and not a single tweet in support for them. This is how we're going to see to save a politician of your own party and for your own political gain in UP. You are not taking any action. Why? Straight away it shows the apathy of the Delhi police by not arresting him under POSCO. Why didn't they arrest him under POSCO? They should have done it. You know the law. I remember you, when the Nirbhaya happened, how you came up in front and fought for the cause.
So, the two FIRs that have been registered by Delhi police, and we have put out the details of that. 354, 354 Part A, Part D. The second FIR, you rightly pointed out, under the POXO Act, Section 10 has been invoked. Various ministers have spoken on this issue. We also had an exclusive conversation with Mr. Anurag Thakur as well. And he asserted once again that the Delhi police is doing its job and there is no political intervention that has been made in this matter so far. It was the discretion of the Delhi police not to go ahead with the arrest. How do you see that statement?
Well, that simply says how what hypocrisy is going on. It's a double standard. On one side, when the sportsmen believe you and ask you to, and you make a committee, you don't give a report for 2 months, and then the Delhi police does not register FIR. Why don't you ask the police to register the FIR? Then you would say, oh, it's a job of the police. They have to go to the Supreme Court, get the FIRs registered. And now he says investigation is going 6 months. You have taken the statement under 164 that you had to do. The police has taken all the statements. They under the POXO Act, they have already been indicted. So why isn't he being arrested? So what is the investigation and what is the right course of law being taken? That I would like to ask Mr. Anurag Thakur.
Mr. Kirti Azad, sir, it's always a pleasure speaking to you, and thank you for highlighting this cause and this issue. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. I want to take this question to our guest as well. Nikhil Sharma, who's a sports commentator, Rakesh Singh, who's a coach and the General Secretary of Haryana Wrestling Federation and Association, is joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Nikhil Sharma, first coming to you. I'm sure you heard Kirti Azad. And increasingly, the sports personalities coming out in support of the protesting wrestlers, asking the stinging question, why hasn't the arrest been made so far?
Yes, Anusha, we question our athletes, the cricketers and Bollywood personalities quite often, saying that they don't speak enough on matters pertaining to, national interest and of, in general, politics in general. But here are the 1983 heroes, ones, who actually led that entire charge of the cricket, the sport of cricket becoming what it is today, and kudos to them for batting it out for these wrestlers. I think, something very simple as a stitch in time saves nine. We've heard that quite often. This should have been taken well in time by both the sports ministry as well as everybody concerned with this matter. The wrestlers had raised a very simple query to start off with, that they had accused Mr. Bhushan Singh Saran of a certain misdoing, and they wanted accountability for it. But look where it snowballed today, wherein it's become the most discussed topic in India. And unfortunately, while we do talk about something like this not taking the political turn, it is, as things stand, the biggest political discussion in the country today. There's a lot of talk about elections, the Haryana elections, about lobbies, about how opposition parties are now
and the likes of Rakesh Tikait now coming into the picture also raises a lot of questions. But it's not to say at any point that the grievances that the wrestlers have are in any way any less in their intensity or the seriousness of the charges that have been made in these two FIRs that have been filed by the Delhi police. Mr. Rakesh Singh, how do you see this entire matter? You have the World Cup winning team, likes of Mr. Kirti Azad, Mr. Kapil Dev, who have come out now and said we must accord due respect to our wrestlers who have brought glory to the country, who have brought name and fame for India, and this shouldn't be handled in this manner by the police authorities.
देखिए, मैं पहले तो सभी को नमस्कार करता हूं। बहुत अच्छे लोग इनमें जुड़े हुए हैं
जी।
और हमारे जो टिकैत साहब हैं, वो टिकैत का मतलब वो एक जगह टिके रहना। पहले उन्होंने 5 तारीख दी, अब उन्होंने 9 तारीख दे दी है। और ये हमारे देश का बड़ा दुर्भाग्य है। इसके बार बार जो है ना, ये धरना प्रदर्शन नहीं है, ये तो एक फिल्म बना रहे हैं। जो हमारी बेटियों ने हिंदुस्तान का नाम रोशन किया, उसका सब कुछ लूट, सबने स्वागत किया, उनको 10 करोड़, 6 करोड़, 5 करोड़ और नौकरी, बहुत उनको सम्मान दिया लोगों ने। लेकिन आज जो भी उन्होंने आरोप लगाए हैं, पहले पुलिस जांच करे और दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होने दे, उस पर अपने कानून पे विश्वास करें। कानून सर्वप्रिय है, कानून से बड़ा कोई नहीं है। उसमें MP हो, MLA हो, कोई CM हो, और ये बेटियां भी भारत की बेटी हैं, एक आम बेटी और मेडलिस्ट बेटी में कोई फर्क नहीं होना चाहिए। कानून तो सबके लिए बराबर है।
नहीं, लेकिन राकेश जी, मैं आपकी बात मानती हूँ कि राकेश टिकैत या कोई भी और राजनेता अगर इस पूरे धरने का या इस प्रोटेस्ट का हिस्सा बने तो उसकी मंशा पे हम सवाल पूरा उठा सकते हैं। जहां तक मैं कानून समझती हूँ, 354 या फिर जो सेक्शन 10 है पॉक्सो एक्ट का, इन धाराओं में गिरफ्तारी महिला के बयान के बाद तुरंत होती है। जैसे ही आप मजिस्ट्रेट के, एक मिनट सर, जैसे ही आप मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करते हैं, और आपने ठीक बात कही कि चाहे साक्षी मलिक हो या मैं हूं या भारत की कोई और महिला हो, अगर कंप्लेंट दी है 354 में पॉक्सो को, तो आप भूल जाइए। तब भी पुलिस की ये ड्यूटी बनती है कि अगर मुझे उस इंसान से खतरा है तो उसका अरेस्ट होना चाहिए।
देखिए मैडम, ये हमारी जो 3 जो इसके करंट धारा हैं, इसके सारे स्कैंडल के, 2017 में एक लड़की बोल रही है कि मेरे को ऑफिस में ऐसे ऐसे हुआ। उस दिन वहां पे ब्रिजभूषण प्रेजेंट ही नहीं थे। फिर एक ने कहा कि मंगोलिया में मेरे साथ रेस्टोरेंट में हुआ। क्या पूरे रेस्टोरेंट में कोई ऐसा आदमी काम कर सकता है?
राकेश जी,
जो हमारी एक लड़की है, उसने कहा 2016
राकेश जी, ये कैरेक्टर असैसिनेशन है विक्टिम्स का। नहीं, राकेश जी, एक सेकंड, ये कैरेक्टर असैसिनेशन है विक्टिम्स का। इसको इस तरह से बात करना ठीक नहीं है। बहुत ही सेंसिटिव मामला है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर कुछ माइनर्स भी हैं जिनने कंप्लेंट की है, तो इसकी गरिमा और इसकी सेंसिटिविटी को ध्यान में रखते हम बात करते हैं। यहाँ पर कोई भी, एक सेकंड सर, यहाँ पे कोई भी जज, जूरी या एग्जीक्यूशनर नहीं है। ना मैं फैसला सुना रही हूँ, ना आप सुना रहे हैं। वो कोर्ट, कानून, पुलिस ये तय करेगी एक प्रॉपर निष्पक्ष जांच के बाद। मैं सिर्फ प्रोसीजर पे हूं सर। प्रोसीजर क्या है जो फॉलो किया जाना चाहिए था?
प्रोसीजर ये है कि ये व्हाट्सएप करते, एक गुमनाम चिट्ठी लिखते, इनके साथ कोई भी जाति अगर होती, तो आज व्हाट्सएप का जमाना है, अपनी माँ को, अपनी बहन को या पुलिस स्टेशन को, तो एक हमारे यहाँ राम रहीम जी हैं, उनको जो है एक चिट्ठी पे उम्र कैद की सजा हुई है, आपको याद होगा तो इन लड़कियों ने भी ऐसी गुमनाम चिट्ठी भी डाल देते।
सर कितने साल लगे थे सजा को होने में? राकेश जी, कितने साल हुए थे उसको सजा होने में? कितने साल हुए थे राम रहीम को सजा होने में, आपको याद होगा?
नहीं, जब कोर्ट ने की ना सजा तो हमारी पंचायत नहीं करी ना। हमारी पंचायत उसमें इन्वॉल्व कहाँ थी? तो पंचायत सजा थोड़ा दी है, पंचायत फैसले,
बिल्कुल ठीक बोल रहे हैं।
तो पंचायतों का फैसला सर्वमान्य होता है। पंचायत जो होती है परमेश्वर, झूठ नहीं बोलते, लेकिन ये तो रोज ही झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अब ये गंगा में जाकर
तो राकेश जी, आप ये बात सीधी सीधी बोल रहे हैं। आप ये बात सीधी सीधी बोल रहे हैं राकेश जी। मैं इस बात को रेखांकित करना चाहूंगी। आप ये बात सीधी सीधी बोल रहे हैं कि ये जो रेसलर्स हैं ये झूठ बोल रहे हैं, सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट नहीं हुआ है।
मैंने कह रहा हूं 10 साल के बाद याददाश्त कैसे वापस आ गई इनकी? जब इन्होंने सब कुछ चाहिए था तो उन्हें दांव पे लगा दिया, अपनी जिंदगी, अपने कैरेक्टर को दांव पे लगा दिया। कैसी कैसी मंशा है इन लोगों की? ये
हो गया तो क्या
आप ये सोचिए, आप भी एक बेटी है किसी की,
नाम लगाएंगे
आपके साथ बस में
एक मिनट निखिल जी,
दूर भाग्य से बेटियों के साथ बस में ट्रेन में क्या क्या होता है?
सर एक बात,
मतलब सारी पंचायत खड़ी हो जाएंगी।
नहीं
ये कोई भी राजनीतिक रोटियां सेक रहे हैं, इसमें बहुत बड़ी राजनीति है, बहुत बड़े इंडस्ट्री के मालिक हैं इसके पीछे।
तो आप कह रहे हैं
लिखी गई है,
तो आप कह रहे हैं
इसमें देखना, मैं तो कहता हूँ सीबीआई जांच हो।
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल होनी चाहिए सीबीआई जांच, और जांच में जो भी झूठ बोल रहा है उसको पकड़ा जाना चाहिए। लेकिन राकेश जी, आज आपने एक बहुत बड़ी बात बोली है कि ये सब लोग झूठ बोल रहे हैं, जो हमारे मेडल विनर्स हैं, ओलंपिक मेडल विनर्स हैं, तो कह रहे हैं वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं।
इन 3 हीरोइन ने जो लिख के दिया है, मैं उसकी बात पे कर रहा हूँ। एक लड़की ने आरोप लगाए कि मेरे जो है ना ऑफिस में ऐसा हुआ, उस दिन ब्रिजभूषण वहां मौजूद ही नहीं थे।
देखिए ये बात पुलिस की तफ्तीश बताएगी। ये बात राकेश सिंह, अनुषा सोनी या निखिल शर्मा नहीं बता सकते। निखिल शर्मा, आपके पास मैं वापस आना चाहूंगी। आपने सुना राकेश सिंह जी ने क्या कहा, आपकी टिप्पणी चाहूंगी इस पे। योर कमेंट्स ऑन दिस प्लीज।
No, I'm you know, honestly, I'm a little appalled. I don't want to be, truth be told, I don't want to respond to it. I am not saying he is for sure, he's an accused. He's, all that the wrestlers are asking for is the law be followed. The law is very simple. The government, should have taken an action long back. Again, I want to stress and underline this. Whether he is, he's just an accused as of now. He's not been pronounced guilty. Let the law take the course. Don't see, these are not normal. There's a conversation centered around the fact that these are, whether it was normal girls or Olympic medal winners. Look, these people have done something for the country that most people in the country, even those who are involved in wrestling, can only dream of, right? That's the level of credibility that these wrestlers have. I'm not trying to here say that you have to punish him, but at least follow the law.
No, Nikhil, I will end this debate by saying that whenever a woman makes a complaint of sexual harassment, forget POCSO, even under 354 or under ordinary provisions of the IPC, the law says she should be treated as a witness in the case. Her testimony prima facie is credible for the investigation to go ahead. Absolutely. In most cases, especially if the accused is in a position of power and can influence the victim's life, the police is likely to make an arrest in this case. Not to say that the accused cannot get the bail. He or she can get the bail in this case, but arrest does happen in cases like that. Truth be told, that's the law of the land. Thank you, Nikhil, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your views. Rakesh ji, बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. We'll continue tracking this story and much more here on CNN News 18. For now, slipping into a very short.
As well. So
Nikhil, hold on. Nikhil, do hold on. Let me also bring in Anshul into the conversation. Anshul, on the face of it, it looks like that Brijbhushan Singh has decided to postpone the rally. In this Facebook post, he says because the Supreme Court is monitoring it, there's a police investigation going on. But this was the fact even when the rally was, announced. What has really changed is the fact that world bodies like the International Wrestling Federation and the Indian International Olympic Association, they have issued statements. Could that be a factor as far as Brijbhushan's rethink is concerned?
Well, definitely there is a lot of pressure on the government at this point in time because the manner in which the wrestlers have carried out this entire movement, this entire protest, that has made a lot of headlines and that has actually brought a lot of embarrassment to the government, especially after the incidents that happened on the 28th of May, where all these international champions were in fact dragged by the Delhi police and were thrown inside the jail. In fact, they were detained for more than 12 hours. So yes, there is a lot of controversy and criticism that is ongoing against the government, and hence somewhere or the other the government and the administration actually at this point wants that this entire investigation should be done in a free and fair manner, and hence the noise around it should be muted, and that could be one of the reasons why the rally that was supposed to be conducted by Brijbhushan Sharan Singh with cheers who would have come out in his support, that has been taken down because any sort of statements could have been made in that rally, and again that would have made headlines, and eventually that means that would have brought more questions to the administration and to the government. So this could be one of the reasons why this entire rally has now been postponed. So yes, the government is trying to make sure that this entire investigation happens in a free and fair manner. On the other hand, sources within the Delhi police have told us that they are in the last leg of the investigation, and over the next 10 to 15 days, we could expect some action from the Delhi police where they could actually go ahead and file a charge sheet in this entire matter, or if at all the charges are not found, then a final report could also be filed in the court of law. However, status reports are continuously being filed in front of the Supreme Court at this point in time. So yes, the investigation is ongoing, but yes, the kind of noises that is being made, that could actually divert the attention from the investigation, and hence it has now been decided that the rally that was supposed to be held on the 5th of May in Ayodhya has now been postponed. So yes, it remains to be seen as to when will be the next date of rally come up, and as to how quickly will the Delhi police finally conclude investigation and file that charge sheet or the final report, whichever they deem it's necessary.
Right. Nikhil, this was meant to be a show of strength in support of Brij Bhushan Singh, isn't it? Have the wrestlers reacted when this rally was announced, and are they reacting now that the administration has decided to withdraw permission?
Well, this is the important question here, because after the incident which took place at the Har Ki Pauri Haridwar, 5 days time, as mentioned earlier as well, was sought by the Naresh Tiket as to what is going to be the further course of action from the wrestler side. But since that particular day, the wrestlers have gone incommunicado. They are not speaking to the media persons as well. In fact, we have spoken to a source who are part of that particular group. They have informed us that till the completion of the 5 days, the wrestlers are not going to be out in the public place. They are not going to appear in any of the Mahapanchayat. They are not going to speak in the public domain as well, or to any of the media persons as well. So as mentioned earlier, that today as well there is a big Mahapanchayat which is going to happen in Kurukshetra, Haryana, where the further course of action. And yesterday this was something which was announced by the farmers as well. And farmers are one such group who have extended their huge support out in the public domain to that of the wrestlers as well. And they are going to carry out the further shape of the overall protest. Yesterday as well we have heard the bite of Rakesh Tiket, where he clearly informed the public that if need be, they are going to yet again block the roads and borders of the national capital Delhi, which they have done at the time of 3 farm laws as well. And also they also have the option to plan a protest nationwide if their demands are not met. At the same time, they are also going to hold deputation to the President and Home Ministry as well. And clearly, Rakesh Tiket also informed that there has been a communication as well that if any of the delegation of Khap Panchayat, if they want to meet any of the prominent person from the government, then it will also be managed, it will also be exercised. So there is a open communication which is happening, but in a way also we should call it a back channel support, or back channel communication as well. And this is something which has been filed by Arun Dhanta as well, who tracks the ruling dispensation for CNN News 18, that one of the prominent leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who is Union Minister from the Western UP, he also spoke to the wrestlers at the time when they gathered at the Har Ki Pauri side, which clearly indicates that there is some form of the communication, you call it indirectly, which is happening between the wrestlers and some of the prominent people from the ruling dispensation side as well, to come out over a consensus as to how to take this forward in a respectable manner. Back to you.
Anshul, as far as the Ayodhya administration's decision is concerned, how should one look at it? Purely from the point of view that, Ayodhya is a sensitive place, there is a temple construction going on, you would not want a crowd there, and 11 lakh plus people, as the number was being thrown, could create an administration issue. Should we look at it from that point of view, or are you also seeing political signals being given as far as this denial of permission is concerned?
So definitely the significance is much higher, but yes, on record, the records that have come out is that the administration has said that 11 lakh people gathering at a place in Ayodhya can actually be a very big law and order issue, and hence the permission has not been granted. But the significance, as you rightly mentioned, is way higher than this, because this rally was the show of strength of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, where for the first time he would have gone out in public, along with Shias who would have come out and extended their support towards Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, because since day one we have heard that several allegations have been leveled against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh On the other hand, he since day one has been defending himself alone and has been saying that all these allegations are baseless and he's ready to hang himself if any of these allegations are proven true.
Brij Bhushan Singh now appears to be on the back foot, and that's the news that we are breaking at the top of the hour. Amidst heat on Brij Bhushan Singh, the Uttar Pradesh administration has denied permission to Bhushan to hold a rally in Ayodhya. This rally was scheduled for June 5th. But now we are told that the local administration there has refused to give permission for this rally. Brij Bhushan himself has put up a Facebook post in which he has confirmed that he is postponing this rally. For more, Nikhil is joining me live. Anshul is also tracking the story. Hopefully he'll be with us in a bit. But Nikhil, a big setback, you would say?
Well, this was the Jan Mahachetna rally which was supposed to organize on 5th of June in the city of Ayodhya, where Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh claimed that 11 lakh supporters are...
Welcome back. And the situation in the northeastern state and the violence-hit state of Manipur is improving post Home Minister Amit Shah visit. Curfew has been relaxed in some areas in Imphal for 12 hours. Confidence building relief measures are being taken for those who have surrendered, or there are special camps that have been set up. Police has recovered around 144 arms and 11 magazines. Yesterday, Prime Minister, you also had the Home Minister stepping into action. He held multiple meetings. The word from the government and the top power corridor has been to ensure that normalcy in the state is maintained as soon as possible. Home Minister Amit Shah announced a judicial probe panel to investigate the violence and its causes. The panel will be headed by a retired High Court judge. Well, that's the word which is coming in. Let's also listen into some reactions.
Seems to be much better after Amit Shah's visit in Manipur. The state government has come up with a clear brief which states that 12 hours curfew has been relaxed in Imphal West, Imphal East and in Vishnupur. Also in places like Jiribam and other places, 8 to 10 hours relaxation has been given. Worst affected Churachandpur, there too 10 hours relaxation in curfew has been given. This will really help the common people out there. Along with that, now the death toll is 98. 310 people have been injured in this entire violence, and more than 4,000 arson cases are there. Clearly, the confidence building measure which Shah has talked about, that's also being taking place in various villages. That's what the statement says, where in villages the CSOs, the village chiefs, they are talking to each other, they are talking with the villagers there to build up the confidence there on ground zero. Along with that, there is a huge arms recovery. Almost 144 arms recovery has taken place, which includes 10 grenade launchers, 5 MI6 rifles and 11 magazines. So that is very important, and again an appeal has been made to surrender arms because the combing operation will start from today.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Plain Speak here on CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. Former Congress Member of Parliament and a senior leader, Rahul Gandhi, is in the United States for his last 3 days. The comments that he's made in the last 3 days have all made headlines. He's been leading a program called Mohabbat Ki Dukaan. He's been interacting with students and members of the press as well. A comment that he now made last night has triggered a big controversy back home here in India. Defending his party's 50-year-old alliance with the Indian Union Muslim League in Kerala, Rahul Gandhi said that the Muslim League is a secular party. He made this comment while he was taking questions from the media during his interaction at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. He was asked about his party's stand on secularism and how it fits in with one of their allies being the IUML. This comment from Rahul Gandhi has now raised the hackles of the BJP. A mega war of words erupted right after that comment was made. It was late last night here, perhaps about 1 a.m., but the BJP started hitting out at Rahul Gandhi and the Congress on social media right then. We then had a slew of reactions coming to the fore from both sides. Let me take you through the comments that were made. First, what Rahul Gandhi said and the response that came to the fore from the BJP. Rahul Gandhi, while he was in the US, said that the Indian Union Muslim League is completely secular. To which the BJP hit back at the ex-Wayanad MP and accused him and his party of embodying the ideology of Jinnah. one of the key figures behind the partition of the country. Rahul Gandhi then defended the Muslim League, asserting that its secular nature and dismissing any claims of non-secularism. To which the BJP said that Rahul's remarks and his defense of the IUML is nothing but driven by political considerations related to his former constituency now, Wayanad. So why does the BJP think that this is nothing but political compulsion for Rahul Gandhi? They say it's because it's not just the Congress that needs IUML support for the Wayanad seat. Unfortunately for Rahul Gandhi, he is no longer an MP from there.